So in French, to be, you say être. It actually means to be, okay? Bien-être is well-being. So to be is être. First person, which is usually me, I. Second person, we have you. And in the French language, we have you in two ways, okay? So we have you, we will accord it to informal, formal, singular, and plural. Then let's move to the third person, because you will need to know how to say they are, okay? So third person, we have let's say they, them, okay? Third person. I is je, okay? How do you say you? But when we say you, I told you, we accord you either formally or informally. So you, we start with the informal one. You're gonna say wewe, but you say tu. But if it is a formal setting, you say vous. So in our classes, you'll hear us saying d'accord a lot, d'accord. So if I'm asking, is that okay? I will say, ça va? Is that okay? Ça va? Or you'll hear me asking, d'accord? They both mean the same thing. So if you hear me asking, ça va? D'accord? I'm basically asking, is it okay? Ça va? D'accord? Je is I. Me, okay? I. Tu is you, informal, okay? Informal. So we have to place informal next to it so you already know when you're using it. These two are not exchangeable in the French language. You can't address your boss as tu unless you guys might be maybe really close. And you can't address someone you just met as tu. Okay? Voila. Someone you just met, but it is only one person. So it is informal and singular. One person. Ça va? D'accord? So let's move to vous. Vous is now the opposite of this. Formal and plural. So them, they, we have. Attends, avant ça, third person, you might be speaking about someone who is not with us here. So you're speaking about, for example, John. We are here, me and you, which is je et tu, or je et vous. Then we want to speak about the third person. Let's say John and Mary, okay? So John and Mary, if we are standing here, you and I, the third person is either masculine or feminine, okay? So let's say John. So John is il. Okay, he, il. So Mary, elle. Or one is. Someone, okay? Have you got until there? So let's speak about these people, but plural. Pourquoi one? One is someone. It's actually just like this in the French. It's usually il, elle, or on. On, pardon. On. Or we. Okay? So let's move to the plural of this, because we might be speaking about the third person, but it's third person, plural, okay? Maybe there's a group of masculine now, so third person, plural. This is singular, meaning he, singular, meaning she, okay? So plural of this. How do you write the plural of this now? Let's say they, who? They, masculine. So it is I, L, S. You just add an S, okay? How do you say feminine plural? S. Okay? Nice until there. So, let's conjugate être. I am. How do we say I am? I am. I am. You say je suis. How do you say you are? You are. You are. Is that how we write to a? You are? Is that how we write to a? Is that how we write to a? Which one is the correct one? The second one, voila. Two. So I have to use the one that has two words, okay? Is it to a or the one that has est? So just remember, two sounds like number two. So let's use the one that has two letters, okay? We have vous. Vous is a plural. Vous, I am addressing vous, you people. How do you say you are? You formal or you plural? Je suis, tu es, vous. It has an accent over the E, okay? You have to be really keen. Vous êtes. Vous êtes. D'accord? Okay. Il is he. Elle is she. So how do we say he is or she is? Because today we are conjugating to be. One is. One is. One is sick. We are sick. We are exhausted. We are tired. You are here. Are. Être. To be. Okay? So that is what we are conjugating today. Il, est, elle, est. So this we use the one that has three letters, est. Remember, it is third person, so choose the one that has three. Remember, two. Second person, choose the one that has two. Okay? Je suis, tu es, vous êtes. How do we say they are? But they, who? They, masculine. Remember they now, because this is singular. This is singular, which is he and she, okay? So if you didn't know how to write he in French, is written as il, okay? Il, with one L, not one with the double L like this, no, okay? No, not that one. Il is he. Elle, il, elle. How do you say they? They, masculine, plural. Okay, so we have, I saw someone wrote peril, voila. Son. Je. Remember to repeat after us. This is how we write I in French, en français. I, you informal, you singular, vous plural, or vous in a formal setting. He, she, or one is, or we. It actually usually means one is or we, because in French we say we a lot. On mange, on travaille, okay? Then il et elle, okay? Because even in any language, you're always speaking about maybe masculine or feminine, singular or plural. So you need to know how they're written. This is he, masculine, okay? He, singular, he, plural. A group of masculine, now you write ILS, okay? A group of feminine, you write L, you just add an S à la fin. Ça va? D'accord? Okay. In the French language, J is read as J. 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 That is J. 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 Don't read it as J. J. No. J is a J and a H. That is the J. J. So if J and O comes together, they're gonna bring up about the sound J. 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 So repeat after us. Je suis. Tu es. to air. So that is how you read it. To air. To air. A trick in the French language. Usually we don't pronounce the last words. You see, like in English, you would have read this as vous êtes. You would have read it as vous êtes. Vous êtes. In the French language, just know from the beginning that the last words are usually not pronounced. You're gonna write them, yes, but you don't pronounce them. Je suis, tu es, vous êtes, vous êtes, vous êtes. So that is how it's read. Vous êtes, tu es, je suis, tu es, vous êtes, il est. This est here, these and these are read the same way. Tu es, il est, elle est, on est, il est, elle est, on est. We are learning how to say he is, you are, I am, okay? Il est, elle est. So il est ou elle est, on est. So this is how they're read. This all means one is someone, or it also means we, okay? We, nous, and we also have on. So if you are saying we, you can either use on, but if you use on, you have to conjugate it all the way. But if you are saying again nous, you have to use nous sommes. This one also means we, okay? If you want to say we, you either use on, which also means we, or nous, okay? But you decide. If you have chosen to use on, you say on est, we are. You can't say on sommes. If you've chosen to use nous, you say nous sommes, elles, ils sont. Okay, let's get back to reading. Je suis, tu es, vous êtes, il est, elle est. This is how you read it. On est. Nous. That is how you read it. Nous sommes. Okay. If you've noticed, I'm reading the plural and singular the same way. Il, elle, singular. Il, elle, plural. You read it the same way. But you remember that if you are writing, you remember the context of what you are writing in, okay? If you are writing plural, you're speaking about a masculine, group of masculine, okay? Plural, masculine. Remember to put the S, but what you pronounce, you just pronounce it the same. Il, elle, elle. Okay? But when you're writing, you know, I'm now speaking about masculine plural. I have to put an S. I'm speaking about feminine plural. I have to put an S. But when you speak, you don't say ils, elles. No, you just pronounce it the same way. Il, elle. But when writing, that is when we get to know exactly what are you speaking about.